All right, so let's come down to the floor. Roll the upper body back, tuck the shoulder blades under the back of the body, let our arms relax halfway between the hips and shoulders. Walk the heels out about mat width apart, letting the toes turn towards the outside corners of the mat. And let's take a couple nice deep breaths here. Noticing how your body feels, letting go of any thoughts, plans, or ideas. So let's walk our heels in towards one another. Reach the arms overhead and find length through the body. Continue breathing deeply. Feel the ribs expand out to the sides. Feel the abdominals lengthening. Point the toes. Let's take the right hand, place it around the left forearm. Reach up and over to the right. Increasing the length through the left side of the torso and abdominals, maybe even feeling this deep into the hip flexor. And then we'll switch sides. Left hand around the right forearm, lift up and over to the left. And let's come back to center. Bring your arms down along your sides. Bend the right knee. Hug it in towards your chest. Wiggle the toes. Point and flex the foot. And then circle the toes in both directions. And then begin to move that awareness up the leg to the hip. Start by rocking the legs side to side. Noticing if you're feeling any tightness, or maybe some pain or funny feeling in the glute. Just notice if that muscle is tight. Ease into it. This is just our warm-up. And start to circle the knee, small circles, gradually getting bigger. You can slide your hand down the leg if you need to. And then the opposite direction. And then pull the right knee in towards the chest. Continue holding the right knee with the left hand, and as you exhale, draw the right leg over to the left. Keep the right shoulder planted, but let the right hip lift up off of the floor. And then we're going to switch sides. So come back through center, lower the right leg down to the mat. And then bend the left knee, hug the left leg in towards the chest. Wiggle the toes, point and flex the foot. Circle the toes in both directions. And then move that awareness up to the hip, rocking it side to side. Circle the knee around. Both directions. And then draw the left knee in towards the chest. Grab a hold of the top of the left knee with the right hand. As you exhale, gently draw the left leg over to the right. Keep the left shoulder planted and breathe. Good, let's release, knee back to center, and lower the leg all the way down. Excellent. So now let's hug both knees in towards the chest, rocking side to side, massaging the back. And then tuck the chin towards the chest. Let's roll along the length of the spine. And on your next roll forward, come to a seated position, letting the knees drop down towards the outside edges of the mat. Roll your shoulders back and stack them over the hips. Let's take a couple nice deep breaths here. And then lift the right arm up. Reach over to the left, keeping the shoulders back, finding a nice long line down the right side of the torso. And come through center, switching sides, left arm up, reach over to the right. Good, let's release. Bring both arms up, inhaling. And exhale, forward fold. Drop the hands down to the mat when you feel that stretch through the lower back and the outsides of the hips. And then lower the chest down little by little, maybe walking your hands out even further in front of you. Inch your hands over towards the right corner of the room, pressing back and down through the left hip. Let's come back through center and walk the hands over to the left, rooting down through the right hip. And now let's come back through center, lean forward into the palms, come onto your hands and knees. And let's move with the breath, warming up the back side of the body. So exhale, arch the back, draw the chin towards the chest. Inhale, round the spine, look upwards, move at your own pace. Good, let's do one more. And then come to a neutral spine. Let's curl the toes under, lift the knees off the mat, tailbone up and back as we root down through the heels, coming into our first downward facing dog of the class. Maybe you want to pedal your heels a little bit, let your calves and ankles relax. Good, and then walk the feet forward, bring them towards your hands, tuck your chin towards your chest. Let your upper body hang forward, relaxing over the thighs. Let go of any tension through the upper body by gently swinging the arms left and right, maybe looking left and right or up and down, letting go of any tension in the neck. And then press through the soles of the feet. Let's round, coming all the way up, shoulders back, away from the ears, standing tall in mountain pose at the top of our mat. Do a couple sun salutations to continue warming up. Inhale, exhale, palms together. Inhale, lift the arms up, gently arch back. And exhale, forward fold, fingertips down to the mat. Bend your knees a little bit if you need to. Inhale, right leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes. Exhale, left leg back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower, knees, chest, and forehead, or chaturanga. Inhale, slide forward, press through the palms, lift the chest, look up. Exhale, curl the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg forward, left knee down, foot flat. And exhale, left leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. Exhale, release, arms by the sides. Inhale, exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, right leg back to plank. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, slide forward, press through the palms, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, foot flat. And exhale, right leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back, and exhale, release. Inhale, exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, left leg back. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, slide forward, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg forward, left knee down, foot flat. And exhale, left leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. And exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, left leg back, knee down, foot flat, look up. Curl the toes, exhaling, right leg back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, slide forward, lift the chest. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left foot forward, right knee down, foot flat. And exhale, right leg forward, feet together, look at your knees. Inhale, arms up, gently arch back. And exhale, release. Arms by the sides, shoulders back and away from the ears. Let's find a point to focus on, something higher than eye level. And we're going to root down through the left foot. So spread the toes wide, soften the knee, roll the shoulders back and stack them over your hips. When you're ready, lift the right knee up towards your chest, holding either the knee or the hamstring. So we don't want to compromise our posture. Keep the shoulders back, stacked over the hips. Either hand placement is fine. Good, let's continue holding the right leg with the right hand. Bring the left hand to the left hip, and now swing the right leg open to the right side as if it's on a hinge. Keep standing tall, lengthening out of the left foot. Good, let's bring the knee back around to the front of the body. Pull your abs in. So they're working hard here to support the leg. Right hand comes to the right hip, and now flex the right foot, press through the heel, lift the toes upwards to waist height. Excellent. On your next exhale, lower the right leg down with control. Good job. You may want to shake out the legs, roll out the shoulders. Take a deep breath. We're going to start fresh on the opposite side. Rooting down through the right foot now. Toes spread wide, knees soft. Whenever you're ready, lift the left leg. You can try the same hold as you did on the previous side or something different. One may feel a little bit more steady, but again, keep the shoulders back. As long as they're over the hips, the hand placement doesn't matter. Let's keep holding the left leg with the left hand to the right hip, and open the left leg to the left side. Grow taller out of the right leg and hip. And now let's bring the left leg back to center, draw the abs in, let go of the leg, bring the left hand to the hip. Flex the foot, press away through the heel, lift those toes as high as you can, and breathe into that stretch, strengthen, heat. We want to have all these sensations kind of competing for our attention, but they're all really important. So we've got a lot going on, a lot of good things for the body. Keep lifting those toes a little bit higher. Let's take one more breath and lower that leg down with control. Good job. Shake out the legs. Whew, I'm quite warm now. I hope you guys are too. So come back to the top of your mat. Remember, you can get a drink or take a break whenever you need. It's a hot summer day, so keep that in mind. We're going to start by stepping the right foot back, a nice wide stance. We'll move right into Warrior Two. So wide stance through the legs, left heel points towards the right arch. Inhale the arms up to shoulder height. Let's inhale. As we exhale, bend the left knee, sinking it down over the ankle, opening up through the inner thigh so the left kneecap points towards the middle toe. Turn the head and look past the fingers, keeping the shoulders back and together. Now let's flip the left palm towards the sky. Keep the lower body exactly as it is. We're just going to relax the right hand back towards the right leg as we lift the left arm upwards towards the sky. Feel the stretch, lengthening the abdominals. Breathe as you look upwards. Good, let's take one more breath. Come back to Warrior Two just for a moment. And now we're going to move into extended side angle. So keep that bend in the left leg. You can either come halfway down, bringing the left forearm to the left thigh, or all the way, bringing the left hand just inside the left arch. Our right arm sweeps forward, right bicep next to the right ear. Tilt the chin up and look at the right palm. If you have your left hand on the mat and you find that your left knee is kind of creeping forward, it means you can probably open your stance a little bit wider. So feel free to walk that right leg back to intensify the stretch through the inner thighs. Good, let's take one more breath. And then as we exhale, press into the left foot, straighten it out. Let's bring the arms and torso all the way up, letting the right arm come back down to the right side of the body. Rotate the left foot so our feet are parallel to one another. Bring the shoulders back and together. Interlace the hands behind you. Let's inhale deeply. Exhale fully as we hinge at the hips, letting the thumbs fall away from the tailbone as if they're going to drop to the mat overhead. Keep your head and neck relaxed, looking through the legs. Keep the neck as long as possible, reaching the crown of your head down towards the ground. Inhale deeply. And as you exhale, release the hands, drop them down to the mat for support. See if you can hinge forward a little bit further now that we have our hands in place on the mat. And walk the hands over towards the right leg, rotating the chest towards the right inner thigh. And let's walk our hands back through center and all the way over towards the left leg. Again, chest centered over the left thigh. If hands don't touch the foot or ankle, that's fine, just that direction on the mat. Good, let's bring our hands back through center, use them for support, walk the toes and heels together until you can lift the chest up, stacking the back over the hips over the ankles. Good. Come back to the top of our mat and we'll switch sides. So starting in Warrior Two, on the opposite side of the body, our left leg, big step back, hip, shoulders, and chest towards the left side of the mat, right heel points to the left arch. Arms extended as we inhale, exhale, bend the right knee, open up through the inner thigh, make sure that kneecap is pointing towards the middle of the foot. Then roll the shoulders back and away from your ears. Let's flip the right palm towards the sky and relax the left hand back towards the left leg for Peaceful Warrior. So remember, we're not putting pressure on the side of the left leg. The hand is just gently resting. Breathe deeply. Keep reaching up through the right fingers. Good. Let's come back to warrior two. And from here, moving into extended side angle, right forearm to right thigh, or right hand all the way down to the mat, sweeping the left arm forward. Keep the chest open and facing the left side of the room. And tilt your chin up and look at the left palm. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Press through the right foot, straighten out the knee, come all the way up. Let the left hand float back down to the left side. Rotate the right foot so feet are parallel to one another. And then walk them in just a couple inches. So narrow the stride, still a wide leg stance. Feet are wider than the hips, but not our maximum width. So let's bring the hands to the hips, roll the shoulders back. Let's think about a nice tall, long spine. So inhale, and as we exhale, hinge forward, maintaining that flat back. And when we're halfway there, we're just gonna hold it. Okay, so our torso is parallel to the mat. You can keep your hands at your hips or you can reach them straight down under your shoulders if this feels more balanced. Let's take a deep breath in. And as we exhale, bend the right knee, shift the weight into the right leg, reach back through the tailbone, and we're going to find a deep stretch through the inside of the left leg, from the upper thigh all the way down to the inside of the ankle. On your next breath, exhale back into the center. Inhale and exhale, opposite side, bending the left knee, reaching back through the tailbone so the majority of the weight is in the left foot. Good. Let's come back through center, exhaling, tuck the chin towards the chest. And round up. Good. All right. So we're going to keep a wide stance, but we're going to rotate our toes to the left. Okay, we're moving into pyramid. So toes are pointing to the left side, or now they're both pointing the same directions as our hip and our shoulders. Bring your hands to your hips. Let's inhale, find length. Exhale, hinge forward. So this might be a little bit of a wider stance than it sometimes you would normally step if you were just stepping back or forward into pyramid, but that's good. It's good to change it up, change our proportions. Our muscles get used to, the same setup, the same pose every time. So it's good to challenge them in this way. You'll feel the stretch a little bit differently. And on your next exhale, drop your fingertips down along the length of your leg, or maybe even to the mat itself, rounding forward, bringing your face towards the left knee. Good. Let's release, press into the soles of the feet, and let's come all the way up. Rotate, and now rotate the toes even further. Rotate the toes towards the right edge of your mat or the right wall of your room. So it's okay if that back foot is not completely parallel with the front foot. If it's turned out a little bit, that's okay, because we have a wider stance than we may normally when practicing this. So let's bring the hands to the hips again. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge forward. Feel that stretch in the right hamstring. And on your next exhale, round forward, bring the hands to the mat or along the leg, bring your face towards the knee, and just continue to breathe deeply as possible. Good. Let's release, press into the soles of the feet, come all the way up. Rotate back to center. Good. And step together. Shake out the legs. Excellent. So we're going to move towards the back of our mat. walk our feet a little bit wider than our own hips, toes turned out. We're going to move down into our Yogi Squat. So of course we can sink straight down, or it may be a little bit easier on the knees and ankles if we soften the knees and ankles, hinging forward, placing our hands on the mat before lowering our hips down. By moving that in that order, we can also gauge if we've put our feet in the right places, because we want to keep the whole foot on the mat. So if you find that your heels are kind of pulled upwards, or you're not quite as deep in the hips as you know you can be, you may just want to adjust your stance. So we want to think about a nice tall spine. We're going to be pitched forward a little bit just due to the proportions of the body here in our center of gravity. But let's try and keep our body as tall as possible. So your hands can assist by bringing them together and then using the triceps to kind of press the knees open a little bit wider. Let's take one more breath. And then lean forward, bring your hands to the mat, lower the knees down to the ground. Flatten the tops of the feet. Now we'll stretch out the fronts of the ankles. So here, sit your hips back on your heels and just round your shoulders back. So just coming into hero pose for a moment. Take a couple nice deep breaths here. Good. All right, so I'm going to turn and face the side of my mat. You may want to do this as well if you've got furniture kind of close by. So let's start by bringing our knees under the hips, and we're going to do a little modified child's pose. So we're going to step our left foot out to the left side, just as we would for gate pose. We're going to do that next. But instead of lifting into gate pose, first we're actually going to shift our hips back towards the right heel and walk our hands out in front of us. Good. Let's lift the hips back up, stack them over the right knee, and lift the torso up as well. So now let's bring the left hand to the left hip. Our left foot is still remaining out to the side in line with the hips. Right arm reaches up towards the sky, bicep next to the ear, and on your next exhale, lean to the left, lengthening through the fingertips, finding that stretch through the right side of the torso and hip flexor. Keep the shoulders square with the top edge of your mat. Don't let that left arm sink back. Good. Let's come through center as we inhale. And then as we exhale, bring the right hand down to the mat under the right shoulder, press through the palm, flex the left leg, and lift the foot up towards the sky, turning on the medial glute, that muscle on the outside of the hip. Draw the abs in to help support the body. And breathe. Good. Let's lower the left foot down. Bring the hands forward just for support. Sweep the left leg back and all the way around to the right corner of your room. Lower the left leg. Tuck it in along the right leg. And now point the right toes out to the back left corner. So create that space between the heels. You guys know what's coming up. We're going to walk the body back very slowly, aiming to sit our hips down between our heels. So if it's been a while since we've done this, or there's something going on and you're feeling really tight tonight, or you're feeling any pain or discomfort in the knees or ankles, keep the hips lifted, okay? So we want to feel a stretch, but it shouldn't be painful in the muscles or the joints. So if it's too much, just lift back up at any time. If you are grounded and you're feeling that stretch, but you're looking for a little bit more, you can walk the hands out, or you can bend the elbows and lower the chest down towards your right thigh. Good. Let's walk our hands back to either side of the legs if they're not there already. Press through the palms. Let's lift the hips up, lower the right knee to the mat, and then pick up that left leg and bring it back under the left hip. Before we lift the torso up, we're going to step the right foot out to the right side. So again, our thighs are still creating a straight line. Okay. From here, we're going to sit the hips back. Kind of a modified child's pose, feeling this through the inner thigh. Lower the chest down towards the mat. Good. Let's release. Lift the hips up. Lift the torso up. Bring the right hand to the right hip. Left arm up, inhaling. And exhale, reach over to the right. Good, let's release, come through center, and then lower the left hand down under the left shoulder. Press through the palm as you flex the right foot and lift the leg up. Focus your eyes on a point that's not moving. Draw the abs in to help maintain balance. Good, let's lower the leg. Bring the hands forward for balance. Sweep the right leg to the back left corner of the room. Lower the knee, tuck it in along the left leg, and then take the left toes and point them to the back right corner. Begin to gently walk the body back. This side may be different than the other one, so move slowly. Take any adjustments you need. And if your hips are grounded, or even if your hips are in midair, you can bend the elbows little by little and bring the chest down towards the thighs. Good, let's release, lift the chest up. We're going to keep our hips grounded, or if they're not quite there, that's okay. We're going to move into our bound angle stretch. So what we're going to do, you may need to kind of move into this in adjustments or in little pieces at a time. But we're going to lower the hips to the mat, and we're going to bring the soles of the feet together. So let's let our hands rest on the feet or the ankles. Inhale, lift the chest, sit up nice and tall. And as we exhale, lean forward. Bring the center of your chest towards the feet or ankles. Pull the chin in towards your chest so you're looking downwards ahead of the toes. Good, let's lift the chest up. And we're going to swing our legs around, coming into downward facing dog. So you can turn your body towards the top of your mat if you're facing the side, and come back in to downward dog. Heels down, maybe pedaling the heels. That may feel good tonight. On your next inhale, let's lift the right heel all the way up towards the sky. As we exhale, take a big step forward, swing that leg forward and down between the hands. Drop the hips down and forward, sinking into our low lunge. Holding it here, lengthening the spine, reaching through the crown of the head, grounding down through the feet so our weight is evenly distributed. And from here, let's lift into our high lunge. So feel free to adjust the back leg as necessary. If you need a little bit more support, come down to the knee or the heel. All right, let's inhale. Exhale, press into the right foot, roll the shoulders back, stack them over the hips. Keep the hips down and forward regardless of the position of the back leg. Bring the hands to the chest, find a point to focus on. And keep pressing down actively through the right foot. Good, let's release, hands down to the mat. Gently lower the left knee if it's not there already. Let's flatten the top of the left foot to the floor. Keep the left hand under your shoulder and rotate to the right. Bring the chest towards the right inner thigh, reaching the right hand up towards the sky. Good, let's exhale, right hand back down, framing the foot, and we're going to move into our hamstring stretch. So take a deep breath in. As we exhale, shift the hips back, walk the hands back, straighten out the right leg, lift the toes off the floor, and fold forward over the right thigh. So breathe deeply into this stretch. This one can be an uncomfortable one, but it's so important. So the more we relax, the more benefits we'll get out of this posture. Good, let's release, walk the hands forward, lower the right foot down to the mat, coming back into our low lunge. Take a full breath, and then step back to downward facing dog. And we'll switch sides, so let's inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step it forward between the hands, drop the hips down and forward. And we'll lift into our high lunge on this side. On your next exhale, pressing into the left foot. Roll the shoulders back, hips down and forward. Good, let's release, fold forward, hands down to the floor, lower the right knee if it's not already there, flatten the top of the foot, and now rotate the chest to the left, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift the left arm up, and breathe. And release, left hand back down to the floor, framing the foot. Exhale, press the hips back, walk the hands back on the mat, straighten out the left leg and lift the toes. Lengthen the spine and lower the chest down towards the thigh. Good. Walk the hands forward, plant the foot, plant the palms, and let's step back to downward dog. So next we're going to move into Pigeon Pose. So once again, let's inhale and lift the right leg up, bend the knee, and as you exhale, shift the body weight forward so we can lower that bent knee between our hands, relaxing the left leg back. Take a deep inhale, lift the chest, grow tall, and exhale, hinge forward. Notice the weight distribution. We don't want to roll to one side or the other, but our hips should be even distance above the mat. Well done. Let's take a deep breath. Begin to lift the head, neck, and chest up. Walking our hands back alongside the right leg. If you're up for a quad stretch tonight, you can begin to bend the left leg, reaching back with the left hand, pulling that foot in towards the torso. However, you can just hold it in traditional pigeon as well. And release, left hand back down to the mat. Curl the left toes. Let's step back to downward facing dog. And switch sides. Inhale, left leg up. Bend the knee and exhale it forward. Lower it between the hands. Relax the right leg back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold and relax. Good, let's begin to release. Walk the hands back in, bring them to either side of the left knee. Again, you can hold it here, or you can work on the quad stretch by bending the right leg, reaching back, grabbing a hold of the foot, and gently drawing it inwards towards the torso. Good, let's release the leg. Bring the right hand forward, and this time step back to plank. Keep the abs drawn in towards the spine. Let's take a deep breath in and full breath out. Bend the elbows, move through chaturanga, and then come all the way down, laying your abdomen on the mat. Stacking one hand on top of the other, making a little pillow, resting your cheek on top. Connect the big toes and let the heels roll towards the outside corners of the mat. Breathe. And now pull the heels together, connect the legs. Slide the hands so they're under the shoulders, and then lift them up about an inch off the floor. So our shoulders are back away from our ears. Our elbows are tucked in next to the rib cage, but we're not going to be using the hands yet. We're going to work on just the lower back muscles. So as we inhale, let's lift the face, neck, and chest little by little off of the mat. Feeling those lower back muscles working to lift the upper torso. Good, let's take one more breath and then come down with the same control. Stacking the hands, resting the opposite cheek on top, letting the heels relax away from one another. So we're going to do that one more time, but it's important to keep in mind that even with the support of the hands, we don't want to let the hands and the triceps take over too soon. We really want to focus on building strength through the lower back. All of us could use a little bit more strength in that area. So bring the heels together, connect the legs, slide the hands under the shoulders, spreading the fingers wide this time, keep them connected to the mat. Elbows are bent and pulled in next to the rib cage. And just like before, lift the crown of the head as you inhale, lifting the head, face, neck, and chest. When you can't lift any further, then press through the very center of the palm. Keep the elbows tucked in. Feel the backs of the upper arms working to lift you a little bit higher. Keeping the shoulders back and down so we have plenty of space between our earlobes and the top of the shoulders. Breathe deeply. Good. Gently release with the same control. Use the triceps until you can let the lower back pick up the work and come all the way down. Stack the hands. Rest your cheek on top. Relax the legs and breathe. Good job. So let's slide the hands under the shoulders. We're going to press up to our hands and knees. Walk the knees wider than hip width apart. Bring the toes together and sit your hips back to meet the heels in a wide leg child's pose. So a modified version of child's pose, really letting your abdominals sink down between the thighs. Good, let's lift our heads up, and we're going to swing the legs around and lay back on our mat. Take a couple nice deep breaths here. Notice how your body feels. Let it relax deeply into the ground. Let's pick up the right leg, reach it towards the sky, bring the hands around to the back of the hamstring or calf, and pull the leg in towards the torso. Point and flex the foot a couple times to keep the calf and ankle relaxed. And let's release. Gently lower the right leg all the way down. We'll switch sides. Inhale, lifting the left leg up. Bring the hands behind the thigh or calf and draw it in. Point and flex the foot. Good, and release. From here, we're going to lift into shoulder stand, or you can find a spare wall and do legs up the wall, or you can just hang out here for a couple breaths and relax on your back. Your choice. Moving to shoulder stand, we have to tuck in our shirts. And we start with our arms down next to our sides. Use the abdominals to draw the knees in towards the chest. Press through the center of the palm to lift the tailbone. Hands come to the lower back, walk them up the spine as you stack the hips over the shoulders, and then last we lift the feet. So some nights if you're not feeling a full shoulder stand, you can always keep the knees tucked in towards the forehead and you're still getting a lot of the benefits of the inversion because your hips are still coming up over your heart, over your thyroid, over your brain. Let's bring one leg in towards the face, reach away through the opposite leg. And then gently switch directions. Good, lower the toes down to the mat, coming into Plow Pose. Feel that stretch along the back side of the body. If your feet are grounded, reach away through the heels. Bring the palms down to the mat, bend the knees in towards the face. Slide the knees down the front of the body, gently lowering the back and tailbone, and then the soles of the feet to the mat. Well done. Let's walk our feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. Gently lower both knees down to the right, up through center and down to the left. So you can move at your own pace. I recommend a couple times each direction. It feels good on the glutes, feels nice on the lower back. Good. And then bring your knees back up towards the sky. Walk them in a little bit so your feet are in line with your hips. And then pick up the right leg, place the right ankle on top of the left knee, reach the right hand through the leg and the left hand on the outside, gently drawing the knees in towards your chest. And release, we'll switch sides, so right foot to the mat, left ankle on top of right knee. Draw the legs in. And release. Good. So let's lower both legs down to the mat. Remember, traditional Shavasana, of course, we have our legs extended, but depending how you're feeling tonight, if you want a little bit more stretch through the inner thighs, you can bend the knees and bring the soles of the feet together. Or if you need a little more support for the lower back, keep the knees bent and the feet glued to the mat. Okay? Your choice. But regardless of the position, our mind should be able to relax. So we want that position to not distract us from our breath or from clearing our mind. So let go of any thoughts, plans, or ideas. When they arise, just acknowledge them and bring your awareness back to your breath. Bring your awareness all the way down your body and mentally repeat after me. My toes, feet, and heels are releasing and relaxing. My toes, feet, and heels are released and relaxed. My ankles, calves, and knees are releasing and relaxing. My ankles, calves, and knees are released and relaxed. My thighs, hips, and buttocks are releasing and relaxing. My thighs, hips, and buttocks are released and relaxed. My abdomen and lower back are releasing and relaxing. My abdomen and lower back are released and relaxed. My fingers, hands, and wrists are releasing and relaxing. My fingers, hands, and wrists are released and relaxed. My forearms, elbows, and upper arms are releasing and relaxing. My forearms, elbows, and upper arms are released and relaxed. My chest, back, and shoulders are releasing and relaxing. My chest, back, and shoulders are released and relaxed. My neck, head, and face are releasing and relaxing. My neck, head, and face are released and relaxed. My mind is calm, my breathing is even, and I am completely relaxed. Om. Gently bring awareness back to your body and begin to move your fingers and toes. Stretch your arms overhead and lengthen your body, breathing deeply. Reach your arms over to the right side. And then to the left side. And then gradually roll back up to a seated position. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace Peace Peace. Namaste. Great job tonight, everyone. Thanks for joining me and practicing together tonight. I know it's a hot one, but it's good for us that we do this and keep it up and keep it regular. So I hope you have a wonderful evening, a wonderful week. I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.